Could you persuade those people outside to save souls somewhere else, Nurse Carr?
I think they're in their rights, Dr. Marsham.
Yeah, underneath my window, if you want to be exact about it. If you want to be really exact about it, they're inside my skull.
They're doing the Lord's work, sir.
Is that it? Could you persuade them to do the Lord's work elsewhere, Nurse Carr? You have a hugely enlarged thyroid, Mr. Rawlings.
The goiter.
That's right, that's what we call it. You're a big man and you've got a big heart. But this chap here, the diseased gland, has done your pump no good at all.
Then off with it, sir.
Well, now, it sounds right, doesn't it? Out with a knife and... If I did that, I would kill you.
Never.
This thing here releases a chemical, a hormone we call it, that stimulates your heart. And you've had more than your fair share of that chemical in recent months, eh? As it get bigger, the bigger the discharge into your bloodstream. But then, you see, your heart was already as wonky as could be. What I'm trying to say is...
You can't help me.
I'm truly sorry. It's as you say. I can't help you.
Then I'm in God's hands.
Has he no chance at all?
He's been running bricks out of the barges since he was 12 years old up a 1 and 4 plank. Can you imagine that? The fella's an ox. But the thyrotoxicosis has finally done his heart in.
Would an operation really kill him?
Yes, I'm certain.
It's your opinion.
I'm certain. Well, is there something wrong with that?
We'll keep him in for another week. Maybe we'll find a hostel that'll take him in. He can't go back to sleeping rough. He must have been a fine-looking man in his prime. Where are you? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pry. You going out?
I have business for a couple of hours. Of course, if that's inconvenient.
No, not at all. And stop bristling.
Going out, are we?
For 2 hours, yes. If that's all right with you and the good Lord above, Nurse Carr, I am. I'm going out.
Where's he gone then? Maybe it's a woman.
Get on with your work and mind your own business. Where's that sack of potatoes I told you to get?
Maybe he's gone and got religion. Everyone else has. Only if I was God.
Sydney.
I'm gonna get potatoes and I...
Move.
Only if I was God, I'd start somewhere else. Not up west. Better class of people, Mr. Rawlings.
All packed? Have you helped your sisters? Are they... What about Colonel Waterfield? Are you taking him?
We don't know why we have to go, Papa.
Not go on holiday. On a train. Colonel Waterfield and I truly am very busy. You can understand that. I'm doing what I think is best.
Won't you tell us why?
I have no choice. Come downstairs and help your Aunt Gwen with the others.
Down here. Name's Daisy Jenner.
Sit down on this bench. Something wrong with your face?
Took her to the East London. Wouldn't treat her. No money.
Yes, all right. Oh, no money and dead drunk.
Wouldn't you be?
Do you know her?
She's more trying now, isn't she?
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
She lives down our way. I said you'll fix it. Said she's a regular angel of mercy.
Oh, hold your tongue, boy. One of the doctors will see her after she's sobered up. Mr. Rawlings, you should be resting.
I was looking for you, Nursey.
Oh!
Could I see Mr. Matthews?
Yeah, Mr. Matthews. That's the one. Oh,
you've gone and done.
What on earth is she talking about?
You have nothing to blame yourself for, Joseph. The good Lord understands how it is.
I'm sure he does.
These things happen.
Come on, children, don't turn away your faces like that.
They are confused, the poor dabs. Oh, does the driver know how to find Paddington?
Gwen, you mean well, but... Girls, help your aunt.
You don't want us anymore.
You know it isn't like that.
We don't want to go to the country.
You'll enjoy it once you're there. Look, shall I write to you? No, wait a minute.
Perhaps you might have kissed them and given them a hug. And now we shall miss the train, I'm sure of it.
Drive on. Wait.
It's a tooth.
Well, I need you to join the medical staff, Sydney. I will invite you.
She's a neighbour.
Clear off. What's your name again? Daisy. Well, Daisy, whoever told you to poultice us did you no favours.
It's Polish Ginny.
Well, Polish Ginny has Vernier pulled the abscess clean through your cheek. You've left us too long.
A working girl, Doctor.
That doesn't help. You've a massively infected tooth which has poisoned your jaw and is making this hole in your cheek. Have you had the clap recently?
Who hasn't?
I suppose Polish Ginny looks after that too, does she? You're a fool, Daisy.
Yeah, I know that.
All right. We can maybe do something for you. Now give me the gin. Come on, girl, I'm not stupid. I can't operate on you if you're 3 parts cut.
Gin.
Come on.
Mr. Matthews be coming?
Mr. Matthews.
The ward's through here.
Oh, my God.
Dr. Bramwell.
Good morning, Dr. Bramwell. I have heard a great many good things about your work here. My name is Charles Matthews.
He's come to wash away our sins.
Has he indeed?
Do you have a practice, Mr. Matthews?
Until the day before yesterday, I did not have this coat.
But Nurse Carr has told us that you're a healer.
I have healed people. It is of no great importance. I mean to anyone else other than the afflicted.
May I be told why you are here now, sir?
Mr. Rawlings asked.
Mr. Rawlings?
Yes, for a visit from...
Oh, yes. Have you come here to do some healing, Mr. Matthews? Are we falling down on the job?
I shall quite understand if there are medical objections, Dr. Marsham.
Wait a minute. Let me get this clear. I've diagnosed an inoperable condition in this particular patient. And now suddenly you come along.
Do you have any faith, Dr. Marsham?
Oh, enough of this, thank you. I have what to do.
I have a great deal of faith.
He's your patient, Dr. Marsham.
Good morning, sir.
George, didn't we share a crust of bread last year?
We did, sir. On Christmas Eve. In Walker Street. I sang you a hymn my mother taught me.
I remember. Your mother was a Dorset woman.
She was, Mr. Matthews.
Don't be afraid, George.
God bless you and keep you, Mr. Matthews.
What is this? What is going on?
Do you have a problem, Dr. Marsham?
Take your mumbo-jumbo and leave this hospital now. What is this we're witnessing? The laying on of hands?
Now, just a moment.
Get away from my patient, damn you!
Dr. Marsham!
I would like this man to leave the hospital now. Well?
I see.
Dr. Marsham.
I have upset your colleague.
I think he's right, and you had better leave now.
All of you? Does this man, this doctor, have the power of life and death over you all? He alone? I don't think so.
Mr. Matthews, please, sir.
God will decide the fate of who lives and who dies according to his lights. God. Not some man in a black suit. Don't you know that? Can't you feel it? You have some grief in you, my friend.
In heaven, Mr. Rawlings.
Mr. Matthews. You could do it. It's wonderful.
Wonderful news, Dr. Marsham. It's Mr. Rawlings.
What about him?
That's right, Doctor. That's what it is. A miracle.
The goiter was measured by myself and Nurse Carr the day before yesterday as having a circumference of not less than 10 inches. The patient had complained of several fainting fits or blackouts, which he ascribed to a lack of food and the effects of a severe winter.
And his heart rate was excessively high.
Mm-hmm. And so I concluded that the thyrotoxicosis had greatly overstimulated a heart already damaged by extreme physical labour.
May I? Sit forward, please. And how does your heart feel now, Mr. Rawlings?
It is singing.
It's Mr. Matthews what done it.
This is not a sideshow at a circus, Nurse Carr.
You can make anyone.
Come on, back into bed. Back into bed. Now, get back into bed. Daisy, get back into your own bed. Back into bed.
Be quiet, will you?
Has there ever been a case of spontaneous remission?
I've never seen one.
The reduction is truly incredible.
Maybe. But I don't believe the original diagnosis was wrong. No, I'll put it more positively. I will stake my reputation on it being right.
Then
He has to stay under observation.
let me help you, Dr. Marsham. If he is cured, then he is cured. How or why?
But it is perfectly obvious that he is not cured. Cannot be cured.
Then where is the greater mass of the goiter?
It just can't be.
And where do you think you're going?
I want to see Mr. Matthews.
Look at me, Daisy. Don't be a fool. Get back into bed.
You believe what's happened. I know you do.
Do as I say.
Everybody except them in there can see it. Matthew's touched him and he was cured.
Where's Mrs. Sutton?
She's gone, and I'm off out of here with her.
Mrs. Sutton's discharged herself.
Well, she's gone if that's what you mean. And some bloke with a mashed up hand. We all want to see Mr. Matthews.
Get back into bed, this instant.
Oh, yeah, you would say that, wouldn't you?
Daisy, listen to me. Get out of the way now, Scar. Will you go back into this hospital at once? At once, do you hear me?
Dr. Marsham!
I don't want her, I want him!
Get away from here, do you understand me? Sling your hook!
Please, Dr. Marsham! He's done a miracle! Mr. Matthews come and he raised old Georgie Rawlins from the dead!
Praise! Let the being exultation, let the light of understanding stream down upon us. Praise him indeed! I'm going to tell you one last thing. If you leave this hospital now, if you leave now, don't expect to walk back in. Do you hear me? You come back now and never again.
Dr. Marsham, think what you're saying for a minute. You're hiding me! I've been evil and God struck me down. He's punished me for all my wicked ways.
You have an infected jaw and the beginnings of general blood poisoning, you stupid girl. If you don't get treatment now...
Oh, what? I'm gonna die? Is George gonna die, Doctor?
Are you happy with what you've done thus far?
What I've done? I think you've gone mad.
Very well, I am sorry. I apologise.
You're upset and confused, obviously.
Well, yes, I am. I think I am.
Can we discuss this rationally? I would have made the exact same diagnosis of Mr. Rawlings, the exact same.
Indeed.
Whatever the case, there has to be a medical explanation. If you'll allow me to say so, Dr. Marsham, you're torturing yourself unnecessarily.
Is that how it seems?
That's exactly how it seems.
He cannot accept it, can he?
What? Except what?
Hasn't God given us a miracle?
Would you speak to Sydney about the state of the storeroom as soon as convenient? Thank you.
Well, George, some doctor I've turned out to be. Any more surprises for me?
More like, Doctor.
Can you play the piano all of a sudden, or speak 6 foreign languages?
Before you say anything else, I think you should come to the house this evening and look through my father's library.
Wouldn't it be easier to cry hallelujah and call upon the choir celestial to give us guidance?
There is a medical explanation for this.
You think so?
Yes. What else? And before you tell me what Nurse Carr or anyone else believes, I will tell you that you are still a doctor and Rawlings is still your patient. That's the way I see it. And no, please give me all your attention, Joe. That is the only way to see it.
I've no great confidence of finding anything in your father's medical library or anywhere else.
Then perhaps you're in the wrong profession. Is that really what you want me to say?
At what time tonight?
Well, miracles I find are few and far between. Human error is far more common. Mind you, normally in the latter case, the patient dies.
Please, Father.
Oh, come on now, Eleanor. I grant you, he's a good enough anaesthetist. But which would you rather have, The hand of God or a too hasty diagnosis by a busy and an overworked doctor?
He's coming over tonight to ransack your library.
Good. No. Not ransack. Ruffle, maybe.
And that's all?
Yes. Yes, that's all.
Do you always read in your shirt sleeves?
Huh? Goodness.
You also hum quite a lot when you read.
Oh, well, the children.
Joe, what is it?
I'm sorry, this is quite terrible.
No, never mind that. Tell me what has upset you.
Look, I better I owe it to you to explain. I've sent the children away. The girls, I've sent them away.
But why?
Things have been going wrong for weeks, more truthfully for months.
Then I'm very sorry to hear it.
I can't cope at home managing the house.
Since Sylvia's death?
Yeah. Since Sylvia... See, they know that I'm busier than ever at the thrift, and I want them to think of it that way, but... You're right. I haven't come to terms with what happened to us. With the way that it happened. I'm sorry. This is quite unforgivable.
But the situation you find yourself in, it need not be permanent, surely.
Well, I think that it will. Gwen, my wife's sister, she's a kindly, responsible person at heart, but the plain fact is that I'm not able to look after them properly myself.
We all make sacrifices, but it seems to me too much to ask that you choose between being a doctor and a father. You cannot let go your children.
This other thing that's happened.
Should have nothing to do with it. No, that this is quite terrible. I wish you'd unburdened yourself to me much earlier. It's small wonder if...
Yes, exactly. Small wonder if it has affected my work.
But I haven't said that.
No. No, you're very kind. But the only possible explanation for what's happened is that I misdiagnosed. Sydney, get in here, boy.
Good morning.
Wow. There's tea in the pot. Would you like some?
No, thank you.
Have you come back to see your handiwork on Mr. Rawlings?
It's true that I would like your permission to speak to him, yes. Is that asking too much?
No. That's very civil. Does it give you a fine feeling, all this, huh? Come on, man. You have half the East End wanting to kiss your hand. What is it?
It is nothing at all. I can understand your position, Dr. Marsham.
No. Wait a moment, it is something. You better sit down and have that tea. Are you ill, man? You're holding yourself very awkwardly.
Don't be afraid of me.
Sydney!
I do not want this.
No, but I want you to have it.
All right, I will rephrase the remark. I have no need of it.
I'm surprised you can even talk. Your body's been in spasm for a quarter of an hour or more. Can you lift this leg for me now?
No. You have some power over me. Is that it, Doctor?
That's a funny way of putting it, Mr. Matthews.
Where's George? George, are you there?
Well, of no mumbo jumbo.
I took you for a more intelligent man, Marsham. Thank you.
Trust me, George. There's your man there. Look at him carefully. He needs my help and I need yours.
And what am I supposed to do?
Believe me, George, even to take your hand like that cost him excruciating agonies. He's paralyzed, George.
No.
I think I can be certain of that, thank you.
God will watch over him.
No, we're not talking about God. We're talking about a tuberculous spine. Now, Scar, put screens around this patient and undress him. Cut his clothes from him. Send Sydney for Dr. Bramwell and have him tell her that it is extremely urgent.
No.
I'll say something for you, Matthews. You have a very high opinion of your own powers of recuperation. Could you not let your body do the talking for once?
No.
Put screens around this bed, now, Scar.
Should I send Sydney to the Bramwells?
Yes, maybe.
Yes or no?
Have him take a note from me, and then lock the front door.
Lock them?
I'm not about to have 100 or more hymn singers in here in this car. Mr. Matthews is dying, woman. Do as I say.
I think you're right, and it is tuberculosis. Why do you think he came back?
Why? He said...
We know this is a hospital and that it may have been an unconscious cry for help, for treatment. But there is more to it. I think there is more to it.
This is very hard for me to say, you understand?
Nevertheless.
I think it's personal. This is something. Some battle between me and him he wants to wage. God forgive me if I'm wrong.
What does he want from you?
I wish I knew. I am trying very hard not to despise him for the torment that he's thrown me into.
There is nothing personal between us, Dr. Marsham. Except that I found the emptiness in you.
Was that so very hard to find? I suppose they told you my wife died.
And did that make you feel guilty?
Guilty? Why should it?
But I think perhaps it did.
And even if it was so, is that any business of yours?
Yes. You don't like me, do you?
No. You ask me and I will tell you. You're a vain and I think a cruel man.
That may be so. But then why are you afraid of me?
I don't know.
Don't you believe I have the power to heal the sick?
As far as the remission of the goiter is concerned...
We are not talking about Rawlings now.
Me? You're talking about me?
Aren't you in pain and suffering? And isn't it as real as a broken limb? Or anything else? Including this?
This is an example of your terrible vanity, Matthews. We'll have no more talk like this, do you understand?
What would it take to fill your hearts again?
Leave me be.
What would it take?
Oscar.
You may not have faith any longer, but you have stumbled across someone who does. This can't be happening, can it? And yes, it is an agony. It is a pandemonium of agony.
Matthews, you're gonna kill yourself.
Stand away. Get away. Look on this Doctor. And ask yourself which of us... Ask yourself which of us stands nearer in the sight of God and his understanding. Don't you see that? Can't you feel it?
I'm losing my way, Sylvia. I don't know what I believe anymore. There's so much I need to explain about the children. There's a man. What a terrible fool you married. What a sorry excuse for a husband.
Battlefield surgery, for example. One soldier has his leg amputated without anaesthetic. He dies of shock. Yet his comrade of comparable weight and physical condition survives. Why do you think that is?
People would say it was to do with character.
Well, I would have said that myself at one time, I don't know. One soldier better than the other. But now... I had a patient in here the other day. He was so eaten up with cancer that it was incredible to think that he could still be numbered amongst the world of the living, and yet there he was, confidently talking about taking his wife, his family to the South Seas. Made me think. I think you should look at this. It's by Schaefer and Oliver, University College.
Adrenaline.
That might just account for your man's apparent magical powers of recovery.
Yes, but of course.
I said it might account for it. Now, Mr. Matthews has obviously got incredible faith and a will of iron. He has character, but he also has chemistry on his side.
Kate?
Yes, miss.
You've been stolen. Father has stolen you.
Helping out, see, miss. Shall I fetch some tea, sir?
Eleanor?
No, I must get back. So what do you think of Harley Street, Kate? Is it to your taste?
Without all the ill people, it'd be a lovely place to live, miss. Shall I call a cab for Dr. Bramwell, sir?
Yes, please, Kate. In the conventional manner, if you please.
Yes, sir.
She likes to whistle them down. It's ear-splitting.
I have not seen the paper.
It may explain his ability to throw off the paralysis, at least temporarily.
I have trouble persuading Nurse Carr I'm a friend with that.
Nurse Carr is not a doctor. Now, I want to propose something to you. In both cases, George Rawlings and Matthews, there may be a hormonal explanation that the endocrine glands have in some way acted or interacted...
The thrift is nearly empty, Dr. Bramwell. And why? Because the neighbourhood thinks we have failed to understand the presence among us of someone sent from heaven. That is the mildest way of describing what they think. Adrenaline is just a long word that nobody understands. You can touch Matthews.
While he lives. What is happening to you all? I've had to remind Nurse Carr that she is a nurse. Do I really have to remind you that you are a doctor?
Today? Yes.
Then I'm ashamed for you. I do not want a bleeding heart for a colleague, Dr. Marsham. I took you to be something tougher than that.
Can I see the paper you spoke of? And anything else that might bear on the subject?
I don't want to press you.
I had the strongest feeling that you did.
This has to be resolved. I'm not talking about the thrift. People who break their legs falling off ladders will still find their way here, whether directed by God or not. I'm trying to get Nurse Carr to see this. The thrift will survive. This is about you.
Well, I understand what I read when I've read it, do you think?
Your friend, the tuba player, publishes a broadsheet on canary yellow paper called The Clarion Call to God. Which would you rather ponder, Joe? One way or another, I would like to get back to where we were a few days ago.
If you're going to call me Joe from time to time, Dr. Bramwell, do you think I could call you Eleanor once in a while?
That's what we want. The Dr. Marsham we all know and respect.
Get away! Oh, what have you done? Daisy, what the hell have you done?
I asked for him all the time. I wanted him to come. I looked for him everywhere. He ain't gonna help me. Leave me be!
Get that cow polished in. Tell her to go down to the thrift.
Leave me!
Get down to the thrift. She's gonna die, don't you understand?
Not me!
Yes, you! You!
Who are you?
There is a bad thing, mister.
What are you talking about?
Nurse Carr, get the surgical box and follow me to Marshall Street as fast as you like.
Is it Matthews?
Bring those bandages and some Lysol. Marshall Street, behind the soapbox.
Let me through.
Get this dog out of here.
We'll make a doctor of you yet, Sydney. It's a vein, Nurse Carr. The artery's untouched. You did the right thing, boy. She's not going to bleed to death, so don't worry about all the... She's burning up.
Oh, I tried to sponge her down.
Once again, first class. All right, listen to me, both of you. Sydney, clear the landing of all these gopers and get us some kettles of boiling water.
Bring me a broom. A mop and pail if you can find one. Go on, hop to it.
Right, Nurse Carr. Let's try and make this pigsty a bit more antiseptic while I see to these cuts. We shall need more light.
Leave it to me.
Big star.
You, Ginny, get some men and empty this room, understand? Everything outside, the bed, everything.
Maybe it's not your place, not yours, all this is hers.
Unless she's a very lucky girl, she won't need furniture ever again. Straight. Good lad, straight on the floor. Mind yourself, everyone.
Is she gonna die?
She is not.
Sheets, Sydney, and a good-sized table, like a room table.
Out the way!
I have sheets.
Then go and get them. Pull down all this rubbish off the walls.
Underneath all the war paint, this is a strong young woman. This jaw's going to be a difficult drain and she's burning up with fever. There is septicemia, but the submental glands are not enlarged, and releasing the pus should help resolve the infection. Good. Thank you, Nurse Carr. Are you there, Sydney?
Yes, Doctor.
Very well. We're going to try and get her back to the thrift. I want you to get 2 strong men. Weight and a trestle or a board, something to carry her on. Can you do that?
And the fever.
We can't leave her here. We'll take the risk.
Keep clear, keep clear.
Did you know that girl depended on your help and compassion, Mr. Matthews?
Daisy Jenner.
Yes. A poor, stupid creature kept from proper care by your reputation as a great healer. Are you pleased with yourself?
If she is worthy in the sight of God, she will live.
If she is worthy? Get out of my road, Mr. Matthews.
What is her temperature?
102.
I'll be back to see her in a moment. Is it true what Sydney told me on the way over? That Matthews refused to help that girl and that's why she did what she did?
So we had.
Then he is a brute.
Is that all he is?
Yes, and you'd better understand me. He is a brute.
No, he isn't.
Thank you for coming. It's very late.
I'll examine her in a moment. Thank you for sending the note. Sydney told me what happened.
I have to go back, obviously.
Don't see why you should.
Well, he was at one time a patient at this hospital.
Yes. Yes, I see. But if he chooses not to come in for the last few hours or days he may have on this earth, you've done all that anyone could do.
I've sat here thinking about that.
It's the truth. That girl is alive because you are alive and in the world, not Matthews, you. I came back here tonight to tell you that as much as anything else. I won't let her die.
But you understand. I have to find him.
Yes, I understand. Here.
Thank you. Don't be hard on Oscar. She believed in him.
And tonight has changed that?
It has changed everything.
Is the girl alive?
Yes.
Feel perfectly free to abuse me for what I did. I shall die believing it was right.
I want you to come back into the thrift.
Has George Rawlings left the hospital?
This morning.
Was it a miracle?
Of some kind, yes.
It was healing by God's power.
Matthews, you must realize by now, man.
That I'm dying. Yes, I accept that.
But does it have to be here, in such misery?
Here is as good as anywhere. Did you love her?
Who?
Your wife. Isn't that the grief I saw inside you right from the start? I will answer for you. You loved her once, and after she died, you wished you had loved her more.
Oh, no, man, not here.
But this is partly why you came.
She died a horrible, perhaps an unnecessary death.
But you were not to blame. There are some things you can't control.
Do you think I don't know that?
You're in danger of forgetting it. God plays his part in all things. You're a fine doctor, but that's not everything. Someone else saved Rawlings. Someone else is seeing over me. And you must believe someone else was watching over Sylvia.
I loved her as best I could.
Yes, of course. No one can say more. That is what you came to say. That is why I have waited.
can't.
I think you must.
Not today.
I know it's something you want to do, and I'm happy to be with you. Besides...
Vicky.
I'll walk back to the station and wait for you. Such a face!
You won't stay with me?
Vicky, your father's waiting.
Do you know why I came?
Because it's going to be more than a holiday.
Yes.
We always knew that.
But it's not forever. I haven't given you away. It just couldn't go on as it was.
I could look after you. Aunt Gwen says I can cook as well as she. Molly and Florence can clean.
I came here to tell you the truth. I want you to stay with your Aunt Gwen for more than a little while until I get things straight and can see, well, they say the light at the end of the tunnel, don't they? It won't be forever, Vicky, I promise.
Then how long?
Let's walk a little. Not a day longer than it takes. Means you may have to go to school here. No, listen. And settle yourselves as a little regiment of Marshams camping out amongst the Indians. Meanwhile, Colonel Waterfield places himself under your command.
Come back to the house, Pa.
Not today. See, a man just recently said, had an empty heart. Maybe that was true. It was becoming true.
A stupid man.
No, Vicky, you're not a stupid man. You see...
Are there fish in this river?
Yeah. If I come back to the house now, I shall blub in front of your sisters. And fathers don't do that, do they? Give me a kiss. Here are letters for all of you. And one for Gwen.
But you'll come back soon.
You have my word.